building.
We are at Jana's Market. It is Saturday. We are between seasons. Royal is off to Florida for a wedding. Gordy Kosfeld here at the KDHL microphone. And at this point, I don't have any guests. I was hoping that we'd have a couple, but that's all I can do. Every week, invite people, ask them to come out. And if they come out, great. And if not, that's okay too. I understand that people have lives. So we're hoping that some folks will stop on by. As I said, we're between seasons. The girls' basketball season will start. They started practice this past week. They'll start with games here in a week or so. The wrestling is starting. Boys hockey, girls hockey. See if I can remember all the winter sports. As I said, girls and boys basketball. You've got hockey on the boys and the girls' side. You've got wrestling and boys swimming. Boys swimming and diving. Almost forgot that one. Girls swimming and diving. State meet is going on right now. Well, not right this minute. Oh, maybe they are going on right this minute. In any event, the finals are today in Class A and Class AA. We had no Faribault Falcons that participated in the girls swimming and diving meet, state meet. We've had many over the years. I'll never forget a few years ago watching that relay team win the state title in incredible fashion. It was so much fun to be up at the Minnesota Aquatic Center on the University of Minnesota campus. In Minneapolis, experts in the field of swimming and diving. I'm by no means even close to that. I don't even know how to swim, to be honest. I can dog paddle. That's about it. Experts in the sport tell me that that is a very fast pool. The pool on the University of Minnesota campus. A very fast pool. I've been told Rochester has a very fast pool. Rochester. That's where sections are typically held for the Faribault Falcons, or at least have been over the years. And the conference swim meet is typically there, right? Typically there. The conference swim meet is typically there. So that's going on up at the University of Minnesota. It was amazing to see Eden Prairie defeated last night. They were the number one ranked team in the state and the biggest schools in Minnesota. They were having comfortable margins of victory. They beat Lakeville North, who is ranked number 2 in the state, in the semifinals. Or excuse me, in the quarterfinals. Semifinals last night, the Edina Hornets. And I said they were the Cinderella of the tournament. They knocked off the Eagles of Eden Prairie, allowing only one touchdown to that very, very, very good offense. That tells you Edina's on a roll, doesn't it? Edina and Centennial are playing for the state title in the biggest schools class next weekend. I had the privilege, and I do mean privilege, of broadcasting a game yesterday from U.S. Bank Stadium. Cannon Falls lost to Eden Valley Watkins in the 2A semifinals. Final score was 42-26. They had more total yards. They had more first downs. But it's the score that counts, right? The score, the final score was 42-26. They simply could not stop 3 players on that team that were incredibly fast. Both of their wideouts and the quarterback were all speedsters. And all Eden Valley Watkins does is spread the field. They came out in 5 receiver sets a lot of times. That's right, 5 receiver sets. You don't see that a ton in high school. They would snap in the gun to their quarterback, Geislinger. He's a senior, 170 pounds, about 6 feet tall. And he was so fast, he would either take off because there'd be some lanes to run in, right, because of the spread, right? They spread their offense, which forces you to cover the receivers. You have to cover the receivers. You just send them down the field, and that'll open up lanes for you to run in. And boy, could they run. 66-yard touchdown, 55-yard touchdown, 50-yard touchdown, big chunk plays all over the place. On the very first series of the game, it looked like Eden Valley Watkins was going to be stuffed by Cannon Falls. The first play of the game, they sacked that quarterback. Geislinger is his name. They sacked him on the very first play of the game. They knifed in there and got the sack. On the second play, he fumbles the snap, has to jump on top of it, fumbles the snap, and they're able to recover from that. On third down and about 17 yards to go on third down, they pick up 36 yards on a pass play to one of their speedster receivers. One of the fastest players for Cannon Falls, Preston Schoenfelder, he's a junior, he'll be back next year, was covering this guy. He was stride for stride with him on the sideline to the left of the quarterback. Quarterback just lets the ball go, and I thought he overthrew the receiver. The receiver was so fast, he separated from Schoenfelder like he kicked it into another gear, and he actually caught the ball 36 yards down the field. It was incredible, right by the sideline, and then he went out of bounds. And that was a big play in the game. They went on to score. They didn't make the two-point conversion. Cannon Falls took over the ball, went right down the field, and scored. They also converted the two-point conversion. They had an 8-6 lead. That was with like a minute 45 to go in the quarter, something like that. Well, to show you how quick things can happen, the second series was well, maybe it wasn't that late. It was 3 or 4 minutes in the quarter. Anyway, the second series was stuffed by Cannon Falls, the second series of Eden Valley Watkins. And then they stuffed Cannon Falls, and a punt was blocked. A punt was blocked that really changed the momentum of the game, because right after that, they threw a 27 or 8-yard touchdown pass. Didn't convert the two-point conversion again. They were up 12-8, and they never looked back after that, scoring on possession after possession. Now, Cannon Falls ran for over 450 yards in this game. Their total offense was close to 460 in the game. They had 28 first downs. Eden Valley Watkins had 12. But again, the final score, 42-26 in favor of the Eagles of Eden Valley Watkins. I have a sense I may have seen the state champions in that game. They are playing Barnesville for the 2A championship next week. Some more games are going on today up at U.S. Bank Stadium. Certainly want to thank the High School League for allowing us to broadcast those games. They're our radio partner. The only thing I wasn't happy about is they shut my statistics off right at the end of the game when I was giving the final statistics. And they couldn't wait for a few more minutes so I could get those in. But they didn't know. They had no clue. Anyway, I was going to suggest to somebody and couldn't find somebody to talk to. You might want to just leave those up until maybe 10 minutes before the next game. That should give you plenty of time to get it set up for the next game. But if that's the worst thing that happened to my weekend, I've had an outstanding weekend. Next week is Thanksgiving, ladies and gentlemen. During Thanksgiving, Faribault does something that not a lot of communities are able to do. We have a community Thanksgiving Day dinner where anyone, you don't have to be on your last dollar, anyone can get a free meal out at the Faribault Eagles Club. They'll be serving, I believe, from 11 until 2, if I remember right. If you would like to know the specifics about that, we did an AM Minnesota program last Monday. That is up on our website under KDHLradio.com tab. You click on AM Minnesota, and it populates all the AM Minnesota shows there. You can pick the one you want to listen to. Laura McCauley was my guest. She's one of the co-organizers with her husband Travis of the Thanksgiving event, which has been going on in this community since I got here. Actually, I think it started the year before I got here. I arrived in 1987, and this, I think, started in 86. It started at McNamara's Faribault Hotel, right? McNamara's was the restaurant at Faribault Hotel. They hosted it because the Halatis, Mel and Jerry Halati, both lost parents that year. And they didn't want to be alone during the holiday. They wanted to open their doors of their restaurant to people who were in the boat that they were in. And that started this great tradition of love, in my mind. It's a great tradition of love, the Thanksgiving Day dinner, which will be served at the Faribault Eagles Club. We're at Jana's Market. Jana has some great Thanksgiving meals if you don't care to socialize, congregate, be with friends and neighbors out at the Eagles. If you just want to order a meal here at Jana's, she's got a great deal. You can order any pie, and I can't remember the flavors of pies. She's kind of busy at the moment. If she frees herself a little bit, we'll maybe talk to her a bit about those flavors of pies, because I can't remember them. I'm sure they're listed on their website. Jana's Market Grill here in Faribault. We're right downtown, across from Burkhart's Myers, an iconic store in downtown Faribault. Burkhart's Myers has been around, I think, since 1947, if I remember right. And then the, I don't remember any. I can tell you that we're celebrating our 75th birthday here at KDHL Radio. I shouldn't say here, I'm at Jana's. But again, you can purchase any pie. These 5 flavors, Dutch apple, I do remember. I honestly don't remember the others here for Thanksgiving. Let's see here. Maybe pecan. That was my dad's favorite. We always had a pecan pie and a pumpkin pie on Thanksgiving and when I was growing up, because most of the kids, yours truly included, are not big pecan pie fans. I like pecans on my caramel rolls, but I don't necessarily like them in my pie. In any event, my dad, who was a big pecan pie fan. So Mom made pecan pie. I think my brother likes it too. And then a pumpkin pie every single Thanksgiving. Well, I shouldn't say that. There might have been a year or two there where we had apple, because we had some apple trees in our yard. And they were not good for eating, but they were great for baking. They were a pain, too. You had to pick them up every time you mowed the yard. And there were oodles of them. We put them in these big 5-gallon pails and throw them up on the porch. And Mom, of course, would carve them out and make some applesauce and apple crisp with them. And I don't remember her making a ton of apple pies. It was primarily apple crisp, and that was primarily what she made with those apples, and it was really delicious. That was fun. Growing up in the little Spring Valley, Minnesota. So again, this is the Faribault Coaches Show. Typically, we try to have coaches and athletes out here at Jana's Market. There's a little more time between seasons than there used to be in high school athletics, or at least it seems that way. Used to be you'd go from one right into the other. Now, the volleyball tournament ended last weekend. State volleyball tournament was last weekend. Russell Tyler Ruthven is your state Class A champion. I bring that up because Bethlehem Academy nearly knocked off a Fillmore Central team that was defeated by Mabel Canton in the section tournament. That would have meant that BA, well, I guess they would have gone on to play Kenyon Wanamingo. Boy, that would have been something, because the only time they played this season, it was a 5-set thriller. Cardinals came ever so close and had ever so many opportunities to defeat that Fillmore Central team, but they were on fire. I know Lonnie Morgan, the head coach of Mabel Canton, said he had seen them a few times during the course of the season, and he said that was the best he had ever seen that team play. It just so happened to be on the night when Bethlehem Academy was the opponent, and I could see that. Bethlehem Academy has dominated that section for many years, right? Not in recent years, but they had a big-time run from the early 2000s for over 20 years, big-time run, with a number of years in a row winning that section and going to state. State titles, it seems like on every year basis in the early mid-2000s. I think their latest was in 2014, something like that, the state title for BA volleyball. So believe it or not, it's been almost a decade. Boy, it seems like yesterday. But it's been almost a decade since that domination by the Cardinals. They're still very good. Chris Bothan does a nice job with that program. He just couldn't get past Fillmore Central's incredible serving ability. Speaking of Bethlehem Academy, Ed Friesen joins us here this morning out at Jana's Market Grill. Ed, how are you?
I'm good, Gordy.
I was just relating the BA Cardinal volleyball match against Fillmore Central when they had so many opportunities to win that game, or match, I should say, and just couldn't get the job done. But boy, oh boy, I was just reminiscing about how quality your volleyball program has been over the years, and Chris Bothan's doing a great job with it. Yeah,
the volleyball program is in good hands, and yeah, I mean, you know, every team in the state, except those that win the championship, always wish we could have won, you know, whatever your last event was. You always wish that you had that one more win, right, so you could play again. And, you know, a five-set match is always exciting. You know, hats off to Fillmore Central that night.
Absolutely. They had four opportunities to win the fourth set, not even have a fifth set.
Yep. There were just, there were a couple times there it's like, okay, the momentum's all our way, and next thing you know, Fillmore gets the momentum back or whatever.
But like you say, hats off to Fillmore Central, because you have to be perfect in that situation. You can't make any mistakes. A mistake is a point for the other team.
Yeah, it's a tough, 5-set matches are always tough. And that game 5, game 15, it goes fast. And so, yeah, playoff environment, Mayo Civic Center, it gets to be a tough situation to play through. And, if you are playing well and you're mentally tough, you get through it. And, they pulled it out, but, it is what it is, So.
Yep, Mabel Canton represented this section well, as they always have the last couple of years.
Yep. Lonnie is an outstanding coach, and we've had over the years, you could probably, I don't know how many times, the section championship was Mabel Canton versus Bethlehem Academy, or at least one of the two schools were in the section championship. It seems like every year. So it's Lonnie does a wonderful job. Mabel Canton has a very good volleyball program, and maybe we'll get the chance to play them again next year in a section championship.
But you are the head boys basketball coach there at Bethlehem Academy, and you're starting practices this week. Is that right?
That's right. We start on Monday. Boys basketball across the state gets going on Monday. So
have you got a lot back from a year ago? I don't remember.
Well, we do graduate, or did graduate, 3 of our starters from last year's team. So we'll be, trying to find people to step in and take those spots. So there will be a certain amount of youth and inexperience here at the beginning of the season as we, fill those spots. But, we're looking forward to it. Hudson Dillon was our leading scorer last year. He's back.
He is so fun to watch because he plays hard all the time, Ed. That's got to be the hardest thing to get kids to do. I didn't play hard all the time.
Yeah. I mean, Hudson's a phenomenal athlete, and he busts his tail at every sport that he does: football, basketball, baseball.
There are phenomenal athletes that don't bust their tail every time.
True.
You are blessed to have that, Ed.
True. As long as people are, giving their all, in a game setting, you can't complain as a coach, and that actually was part of email that I sent out to our basketball parents yesterday, as far as, okay, here's our game schedule and practices and just a few other reminders, and I wrapped it up with they're at the end of practice, at the end of the game, at the end of the season. These are the things I hope people say about our team. And one of the things on there is that, they played hard, that they hustled, that they never gave up, and that they had fun. Right?
And we're good at sports, right?
And good sports. Yep, that was on the list there as well. So, a lot of things, that don't necessarily, are as far as winning and losing, but just how do you play the game. And so hopefully, we have a group that will play the game the right way and, be working hard, playing smart, playing together, and, being a good quality opponent for other teams.
In addition to Hudson, let's see if I can remember, is there a Huerta back?
Aaron Huerta will be back. Yep, he's our other starter that is back. So Aaron's he's a forward for us, and so
he's had some injury issues, right? Over the years, or
not too bad.
Okay,
he, I know he had a little. He's got an ankle right now that he had sprained during the soccer season. But he's another guy that plays really hard. He's I love playing good defense. Aaron loves playing defense. So
you don't find that in a kid every day of the week either. I hated playing defense.
No, you do not. And I think you see it a little bit less now. And I don't know. I don't know if the shot clock coming in, if that'll change people's views that way as far as a defense possession. But I was always very happy being able to play a long defensive possession and get a stop. I guess with the shot clock now, that okay, you got 35 seconds that they'll bust your butt here, and then you're going to have the ball again. So anyways, it'll be interesting to see how what the attitudes are towards defensive possessions and extending those possessions and gain stops and so on, or if it's going to have, or some people evolve to where our focus is score more points than the other team versus stopping the other team from scoring.
Right. Now most coaches I've talked to think that it's not really going to have that much of an impact on the game because most possessions weren't that long anyway.
True. I don't think during the I think during most games, during most of the, especially the early parts of the ball game, we've played a couple of non-conference games with a shot clock, and I can think of maybe only one time where the shot clock expired. So you don't see it that much. I think where you might see it now, will be end of a ball game, and a close ball game. That's where you might notice it more.
Aren't they shutting it off in the final couple minutes or not?
Nope. You got, as far as I know, it's shot clock till the end of the game.
Okay, I knew there was talk about maybe doing that.
Yeah. No, I guess I haven't looked at all the rules yet with the shot clock. I know there's a couple things there that I wasn't aware of, last year when it got voted to be adopted for this year.
From an AD's perspective, do you have to have another separate person at the scores table to run the shot clock?
Yes. Yeah. It's enough work for one person just to operate the scoreboard on a regular basis, as far as the hand switch for the clock and then putting in points and fouls and that kind of thing. So
they couldn't do both, you're saying?
No, it's two separate switches, right? As far as you have one timing switch for the main clock and one timing switch for the shot clock, and I haven't met a three-handed person yet. So as far as being able to run both clocks and then enter in points and fouls on the scoreboard, I haven't found that person. So
no.
So two people.
That's one of my questions. If I get to heaven, why I only had two hands all my life?
Well, I think people would look pretty funny if we had three.
Well, you wouldn't know the difference if we were, three all the time.
Yeah. As a mathematician, I like the symmetry of the two. So,
but I've told some of my friends that, and they say when you get to heaven, you won't be thinking of that for a question.
Yeah. No.
You'll be rejoicing, right, that you got there.
That's hopefully that's the vision. Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm hoping for. Who do you open up against?
We open up in 13 days here against United Christian Academy at home. So on December 2nd, I think that is.
And where's United Christian Academy out of?
United Christian Academy is out of the South Metro. United Christian Academy is a merger of three Christian schools. It was. So you might remember Bethlehem Academy.
So they're going to be, that's that new school they're building in Lakeville?
Yes, they are building a new campus. Currently, they've been using the campus that was Bethany Academy.
Okay.
Yep.
I see the construction.
We played them now for a couple of years, and it's kind of a little bit of a hope with them, moving into the South Metro, that being, just 30, 40 miles away or whatever, that'll be kind of a nice little non-conference rivalry for both schools.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun. Well, I got to boogie out of here in a couple minutes. I certainly appreciate you coming by and people not having to hear me yap about different stuff.
Yep. Well, and I just want to say, and I think every AD in the state probably can say the same thing here. As you wrap up one season, you go to the next, and we got Thanksgiving weekend coming up here. We all rely on many, many different volunteers, from our score table help and our chain gang people and so on. And so, just a big thank you to all those individuals that help us make games happen.
All right. Thanks, Ed. Appreciate it very much. That will conclude our show from Jana's Market. Get on down here, folks. Any flavor pie and I can't remember the flavors, but I know one of them was the pecan, is $15 here for the holiday coming up. And all of you have a happy Thanksgiving. We'll be back here next weekend to talk more about local sports. Hopefully we'll get a crew of some coaches and athletes stopping by as well. Jana's Market. They're open right now.
The Southern